A key step in the hedge accounting process is to assess the effectiveness of the hedge. The results of this effectiveness test determine the accounting impact and whether hedge accounting rules apply or not. When assessing effectiveness of a hedge under both IFRS 9 and IAS 39, we need to consider effectiveness prospectively, that is, at inception and for each period thereafter. The prospective test is whether the hedge is still expected to be highly effective. Under IAS 39, we also need to assess effectiveness retrospectively, that is, at the end of each subsequent period. The retrospective test determines whether the hedge was actually effective over the previous time period being reviewed. If the hedge fails the effectiveness test, then we do not apply hedge accounting. In this situation, gains and losses on the derivative are taken straight to profit and loss, which can cause significant fluctuations in an organisation's reported profits for the period. However, if the hedge passes the effectiveness test, then we do apply hedge accounting. In this situation, hedge gains and losses are taken direct to equity, which is typically a more preferable outcome. There is a two-step framework with respect to hedge effectiveness and its accounting treatment. Firstly, we need to assess whether the hedge relationship is effective or ineffective. Here, we are looking at the economic relationship of the hedged item and the hedging instrument, seeing whether their terms match and whether their respective values would generally move in the opposite directions. That is, whether they would offset or hedge each other. IAS 39 stipulates a dollar offset ratio of between 80% to 125% to confirm hedge effectiveness and qualify for hedge accounting. However, note that IFRS 9 is more so related to an objectives-based test that looks at their economic relationship and the effect of credit risk on that relationship. From these descriptions, it is clear that a hedge that is not 100% perfect may still meet the hedge effectiveness tests. Secondly, we need to recognise the hedge in the financial statements. Even for a hedge relationship that meets the effectiveness tests, that hedge may still have some level of ineffectiveness. That is, it may not be a perfect hedge. For any part of the hedge that is ineffective, we need to record that ineffectiveness through the profit or loss. For a fair value hedge, the change in fair value of both the derivative and the hedged item is taken directly through profit and loss. So both the effective component and any ineffective component of the hedge is taken directly through profit and loss. However, for a cash flow hedge, only the ineffective component of a hedge is taken to profit and loss. The portion that remains effective is taken directly to equity. In a cash flow hedge, ineffectiveness results when the change in the fair value of the derivative is greater than the change in a hypothetical derivative, which would perfectly hedge the required exposure. To recap, there is a two-step process for hedge effectiveness. Firstly, we need to assess whether the hedge is effective or not, and so whether the hedge accounting rules apply. Secondly, we need to determine whether there is any ineffective component of the hedge. As for cash flow hedges, this component will require different accounting treatment.